Welcome back, friends, and thanks for joining us on our journey. Hope you enjoyed our last episode during our downtime in Carlsbad, seeing a few Southern California highlights we've always wanted to visit. We left Carlsbad, California this morning, heading east along Interstate 8 towards Arizona, with an ultimate destination of Monument Valley. This 700-mile stretch will cover 2 days, so let's get to it. We've just crossed into Arizona, turning now eastwards towards Phoenix on I-10. Jumping here on 51 North, we make our way to Scottsdale, where we plan to spend the evening. Arriving in Scottsdale, we stay near the Scottsdale Quarter, an upscale outdoor mall where we'll have dinner, but first we'll check into our hotel that's next door to the Scottsdale Executive Airport. While prices were north of $325 per night, fortunately we had enough loyalty points we earned a free night that included breakfast. Hard to beat that deal. Stepping out for the evening, we strolled around the Scottsdale Quarter. Very nice place. Great food as we dined at the food kitchen. Later we grabbed a dessert, aka espresso, then retired back to our room for the evening. Early the next morning, we awoke to this beautiful sunrise over the mountains from our balcony. We packed up, took advantage of that free breakfast, was then on our way up Interstate 17 north towards Flagstaff. As we began our climb from the desert, we came across these saguaro cactus. The one on the right, I guess it's about 30 feet tall. They're huge. The geography changes. We'll encounter a spectacular as we drive from Phoenix to northern Arizona and southern Utah. The drive is just as exciting as the destination. We level out and get into the pines and see our first glimpse of the San Francisco peaks in the distance. Flagstaff will be in the foreground. Entering into Flagstaff, we see the snow-capped mountains in the background are breathtaking, and temps are near perfect after leaving the hot Phoenix area. We continue our way north of Flagstaff, where the landscape continues to change as we get nearer to northern Arizona and Monument Valley. Passing through Cameron, Arizona, we're now a few miles into Navajo Land as we cross over the Little Colorado River. Navajo Nation is a sovereign nation of the Navajo people in the U.S., occupying northeast Arizona, northwest New Mexico, and southeast Utah, with its government seat located in Window Rock, Arizona. We're headed to one of the 7 wonders of Navajo Land, Monument Valley. Here in Kayenta, we make our final push to Monument Valley, just over 25 miles to the northeast. If you're staying in the area and don't have reservations at the View Hotel, this will be a good option from what I could tell. Restaurants, gas stations, hotels scattered along the route. Rooms at Monument Valley, the View, book up quickly in high season, so plan accordingly. Just a few miles north of Kayenta and on the right is Akalith Peak, a volcanic plug rising up to 7,099 feet. It's almost 1,500 feet above the surrounding landscape. Reaching the northern Arizona border, we step briefly into Utah, then at the roundabout we turn onto Monument Valley Road and re-enter Arizona for the evening. During our visit, all visitors must pay an entry fee of $8 per person for access into the Navajo Tribal Park. National park passes and similar are not recognized in this sovereign nation of Navajo Land. If you're staying the night at the hotel, be sure to hang on to that tribal park pass, along with your paid receipt from the hotel. This will allow you free passage to drive the 17-mile loop into the backcountry portions of Monument Valley as we did the following morning. We just checked into our room. Quick tour. Bathroom, quite large. Tub, everything. Beautiful pictures along the wall, of course, of the Monument Valley. Big double queens. His and hers, what I hear. Got a nice Keurig machine. Very nice. TV. Office for moi. The best thing is this is going to be our evening view. We're going to see out here. See out here is this view. This is our view for the night. The View Hotel is the only hotel inside the tribal park. The views from your room are spectacular and well worth the price of an overnight stay. Our unit was on the top floor and the furthest away from the restaurant to get the best look at the night sky with the least amount of light pollution. The trading post has a little bit of everything. Handmade items run very pricey though. We found some deals as we drove into the park, stopping at a few roadside places. They even have an RV park and cabins, making for a memorable stay. Other features include a full restaurant where we had dinner and breakfast the next morning. We located this sign outside the trading post, the Duke's favorite spot to view the valley. As the sign read, John Wayne starred in several movies in Monument Valley, Stagecoach in 1939, and 4 others with his fans' favorite, The Searchers, in 1956. Easy to see how the Duke favored this spot. Below we see cars returning from the 17-mile loop from the valley floor. The following morning we were up before sunrise. Though the clouds were present, they would soon roll out later in the day. Watching the spectacular sunrise as the lighting constantly changes was equally beautiful compared to the evening shots we took. The following morning, we packed up, checked out, and grabbed some breakfast, then headed to the Tribal Park entry gate. Ahead, you can see the RV campgrounds and cabins, another great place to view the Monument Valley at night. Our visit was during March, so the crowds were very low and we gained entry straight away. I've heard that during the peak seasons, it can be quite hard to get into the valley, so plan accordingly. Arrive early, as they only allow a set amount of cars in the park at any one time. Once that limit is reached, you wait until someone exits. We're in, and now we begin this 17-mile journey through the park that takes around an hour to 2 hours to complete. Passage along these roads is very easy, especially if you have an SUV with some clearance and all-wheel drive. Only found a couple spots that was a bit challenging, but overall it's very passable. Travel through here was a 2-lane. Eventually we'll come to the point where we move off to the right and go around the loop. Then it will be a 1-way traffic only, and then we'll rejoin the 2-way on our way back. This gravel portion was quite easy to drive through, but it didn't last. Eventually we'll be back to the dirt roads. This being a wilderness area, make sure you come well prepared with plenty of gas, water, snacks, headgear, footgear to make sure you have a great visit. This is a sped up portion of our video. However, the speed limit in the park is 15 miles per hour, and in some places you find out you can barely do 5. We stopped at this Navajo vendor stand, one of only 2 in the park. Prices here were really great, and we picked up a few items. A quick stop here to grab some additional footage with our GoPro. As you can see, the lighting continues to change as the skies clear. Signs like this ahead help guide you through the park. This one's showing which direction to go on the one-way road. The colors of this desert are really starting to pop with the skies returning to blue. It's absolutely beautiful here. Up ahead on the right, you'll see what we thought might be a Navajo hogan for burial purposes. Unsure if it's a display or a real artifact. Let us know what you think in the comments, as we couldn't find any information on it. Up ahead in the distance on the left, we see the 3 sisters. That lets us know we're about ready to rejoin the 2-way road back to the entry. Out in the distance, at the bottom of that mesa, you can see that it looks to be some population. Found out there's a Navajo fry bread stand. Would have loved to try that, but we missed it. Photo ops in the park were endless, like this one. As we begin to make our ascent back out of the valley, we see the hotel we stayed in last night up on the left. This is only one of the few areas where the tires slipped a little bit in the sand. Easily navigable though with an all-wheel drive. With asphalt ahead, we're now exiting the park and on our way to the final stop to see the spot where Forrest Gump ended his cross-country run in the movie Forrest Gump. Just a quick 20-minute drive from here. In the very far distance on top of the next plateau will be the Forest Gump Point. Doesn't look too familiar from this direction, however, we'll do a 180 at the top and return this direction for that perfect photo op. People crowd the roads and sometimes the middle of the road to get that perfect shot. Here's that scenic shot we all know had to get one with us in it. We reversed direction and headed down this iconic road and landscape. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Watch for more to come as we see the Four Corners, cross into Colorado, Kansas, and more. And as always, thanks for watching.